It's a huge honor for me and SHEENA to provide the first Lifetime Achievement Award today to Steve Mariotti. It's something that's been making me really nervous the past 2 days because he's had, beyond family, the single person that's had the biggest impact on my life is Steve, both myself as an alumni of Nifty and also Steve as a mentor for us. So just wanted to honor this impact that Steve has had on the field as one of the world leaders in education for at-risk youth. I want to tell you a little bit about Nifty and just also some of the stories if you don't know about it. But Nifty's mission is to provide programs that inspire young people from low-income communities to stay in school, to recognize business opportunities, and to plan for successful futures. Over the last 24 years of Nifty's history, they've reached over 400,000 students. Steve has authored best-selling textbooks for high school market and the college market, and it's been sold over 2 million copies in 14 different languages. It's one of the most replicated organizations nationally and internationally in our field, and it's in 12 different countries, and one of them being China, and was recently rated by a popular vote as one of the most important nonprofits in all of China. Literally received over 600,000 votes from the public. I think that's truly amazing. And Steve's won about 1 million different awards, and some of the ones that I think are some of the best are, in 1988 he received the National Federation of Independent Business Teacher of the Year Award. So in his previous life he was a teacher, and also the Entrepreneur of the Year Award as well. And if you don't know about Nifty's history, it kind of started, Steve had a life-changing incident. He was about 30, in his early 30s. He was an entrepreneur, and one day he was mugged by a group of teenagers for $5. And that really led to him thinking differently about why would these people mug me for $5. And most people would just leave it at that, but Steve actually made a career change, and he ended up becoming in dropout prevention. So some of the most difficult students in some of the most difficult schools in New York City. So he's had his life threatened a number of times, pushed into the lockers, stuff lit on fire in the classroom, and he kept on doing it because it was something that was really passionate and important to him. And the first year he had a lot of difficulty reaching the students and keeping their attention on the subject of math. But what he realized is that when he started to talk about his business, that's when students were really paying attention. And that really simple insight is what led to Nifty, that you could take these students, and instead of starting with teaching them math, you can actually start with turning their street smarts into business smarts. And that has led to where Nifty is today. And I'm going to give it over to SHEENA, and then we're going to ask Steve to say a few words.
Well, Michael talked about some of Steve's many accomplishments, but I think probably Steve's biggest accomplishment, at least in my opinion, is the person that he is. And I've had the opportunity to get to know Steve over the last 7 years or so. I've worked with Steve as I was growing my business on Sundays, and one thing that you may not know about Steve is that he will never turn anyone down for help. Over the Sundays that I worked with him, I saw so many people come in. He met with people from all walks of life, anybody who needed that support and that mentorship. And some of his first students from many years ago, they all came back to him, and there's nobody that has had anything negative to say about him. He's affected so many lives. And as Michael alluded to at the beginning of his introduction, he has definitely affected our lives. I have to say, we wouldn't be sitting in this room today if it wasn't for Steve Mariotti. And he's offered us so much mentorship, so much support as we've grown the Extreme Entrepreneurship Tour. And I can't thank him enough for his contributions to the field and for his mentorship over the years. So let's just give him a really, really big welcome.
Let Steve hold the trophy.
Thank you. Awesome. Well, Michael and Sheena, I love you. My mother would always say, you know, at a point in time, if you wouldn't rather be anywhere else or doing anything else, you know you're happy. And that's how I feel right now. I wouldn't rather be anywhere else in the world or doing anything. I love our community. I think we're right, and that we should really, really, really be mentally strong and clever, and just figure out how to bring concepts of ownership and markets and entrepreneurship, particularly to those that have been born into poverty. There are 3 billion children in poverty, and what myself and all of my team at Nifty, our team, is thinking about is how to use technology to be able to discuss the really basic principles of business, which aren't that hard to learn. They're hard to execute, obviously, but I think it should be a human right for a child when they're born that they learn how markets operate by the time they're 18. And we try to have a big influence globally. The official platform of the World Economic Forum in Davos is that every child in the world, Nifty actually wrote this, will learn how to start a business before they're 18. The president of Mozambique got up in Davos at a panel that we put together and pledged that every child in Mozambique would learn how to start a business. I think that the privatization of international relations, the connection of entrepreneurs, and the beautiful ideas around ownership and how markets can create wealth is a really great way to prevent war, which we absolutely have to do. And I think the problems in the environment and the problems of poverty and the other problems that are threatening our world, our civilization, all of them, in part, in a small part, the solutions lie in this room and this great day. And we cannot give up. We have to be strong, because I think we are right on this. And I'm really, really proud. I want to just, as I close, I do want to thank a friend, not to embarrass him, but of 26 years. Has been one of the best friends I've ever had. I didn't realize it until 26 years went by. Mike Hennessy of Coleman Foundation. What those people have done, the courage that they've had since 80 to really stand alone in the philanthropic community and support our field. Without them, I certainly wouldn't be here. And I give 20 examples of it, but I'll give one painful one. Our office is at 120 Wall Street, and I hope you'll all visit me there. But it was 500 yards from 9/11, and we were all in the office when that tragedy happened, and saw the horrors of it, and etc. And one of the terrible things that happened, at least for us, was that all of our relationships froze. So we had no capital at all. We had a $25 million budget. We had zero money coming in for 10 weeks. It was horrible. Everybody was distracted, and we were about to go under. And Mike Hennessy, without being asked, wire transfer a significant amount of money into our bank account. He called me and goes, "What's your bank account?" And I was like, worried about a lot of things. I just gave it to him. And the next day, he saved us. And that was 10 years ago. And Michael, I've always wanted to make you proud. And we're going to do that. So, any event, I'm so happy to be here, and thank you. And I hope I meet every one of you. Thank you. Michael and Sheena, thank you.